T&D Sports, an exclusive video broadcast.
Wednesday night in the Big Apple. We're down the road at Hofstra from Bill Edwards Stadium. The Oklahoma City Spark take on the New York Rise on the All-Women's Sports Network. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. Alongside Oklahoma great Nicole Mendez, I'm John Perez. Nicole, New York comes in at 8-16, but a good victory against the Florida Vibe last week, and boy, did the New York Rise need that victory. Now they're trying to build some momentum, but here comes OKC, a tough opponent at that. But how does New York get off the snide?
For them, offense has been key. They've been able to have a ton of power, but no ducks on the pond. If they're able to get consistently runners on base whenever they do have that power, I think things are totally going to shift for them, not just this series, but the rest of the homestand.
Speaking of power, Oklahoma City comes in full force. They took 2 out of 3 from the Florida Vibe over the weekend as we take a look at their starting lineup, and they're going to be led by the home run queen, Jocelyn Alo. She does everything. She
does everything. Every time she steps up to the box, the defense knows it, the pitcher knows it, the crowd knows it. She's somebody who doesn't miss often, and whenever she does, it's typically a double off the wall. You have to be very careful whenever you're pitching to her.
Hitting above 500 this year in her 12 games. Here's the rest of the lineup, led by Amber Flores, Jada Coleman out in center field. Jocelyn Alo bats second. She'll play first base. Kinsey Hansen behind the plate. Sydney Sherrill in the cleanup spot. She's at third base. Alyssa Brito is the shortstop. Haley Lee, the DP. Riley Boone out in left field. Alina Torres in right. And Rachel Becker, the second baseman, rounds out the lineup. So that's OKC. On the other side for New York, they've got Jocelyn Alo, Carly Spade, second most home runs in NCAA history.
2 juggernauts just going right back at it. Carly Spade, her offensive numbers are completely insane. It is cheat mode for her. Her mindset is always on attack. She likes to work early in counts, get good swings on good pitches.
Not a bad day when your number 6 hitter has more than 100 career home runs in college. But it's a new lineup for Michaela Transu. Alex Brown will lead it off at third base. Lauren Lucas out in right field. Riley Blampede in left. Courtney Days, the DP. McKenna Smith, the catcher. Carly Spade at first. Jenna Laird, the shortstop. Sammy Williams in the 8 hole at second base. And Kayla Wadle is the left fielder as we get ready for the Rise and OKC. And let's take a look at the numbers in our tail of the tape. And Nicole, what sticks out to you?
To me, whenever I look at the Spark, the on-base percentage, they are getting on base almost half of the time a batter comes up to play. So whenever you are having runners on, it could be a bloop, it could be a home run, you're scoring. But on the flip side, we talked about the power from the New York Rise. 28 home runs, double of what Spark has. There's a lot of power there. So it's just going to be a matter of who can get more runners on base.
The other thing, too, is going to be catching the ball for the Rise this year. 33 errors at .939 fielding percentage. And, you know, sometimes that could be hometown scoring or what have you, but against OKC, you really have to minimize the mistakes.
33 is pretty significant. So having clean defense, as a defense, knowing where your pitcher is throwing, being able to shift and be in the right locations accordingly.
The New York Rise will send Jalen Ford to the mound, the ultimate competitor, as Ford and the rest of her defense out there as well as Jalen Ford. The numbers on Ford this year, she's 3-3, a 4.71 ERA, an ultimate competitor, gave up 7 runs but fought through 5 1/3 in her last start against Atlanta.
You look at what she did back earlier in the year against the Spark. She held them consistently up until the 5th, and there are those errors that we talked about that kind of struggled and the game let loose. Had 3 or 4 errors, and from there it was a 5-2 victory for OKC Spark.
The center fielder, number 22, Jada Coleman.
Well, it's going to be interesting, and we'll talk about it throughout the broadcast. Jalen Ford, a good competitor, a nibbler, though. So if you have a home plate umpire that can give you a couple extra inches off the plate, that's going to help. But this is a Spark team that's very patient at the plate, led by Jada Coleman, who will lead it off, the former Sooner. Digs in against Ford, and we're ready for softball here at Hofstra. And the first pitch of the evening is on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Coleman grew up in the Colony in Texas, hitting .409 on the year, a home run, and 5 RBIs. And slices it the other way down the left field line. Riley Blampede a dive, but can't make the catch.
Game time temperature.
And it's just strike two. Good effort by Blampede. Had a lot of room to run, but not exactly the most real estate out there in left.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of run that she had to do just to even get herself to that location. Great effort. It just looked like as she was diving, that glove closed just half a second too soon. And those are the defensive plays that they're not necessarily errors, but they do make a difference.
0-2 pitch, just missed inside. Home plate umpire Gil Zayas saying that it was just inside. Zayas behind the plate, Jason Muller at first base, and Daniel Abernathy is at third base. No wind from the flags out in center field, but tell that to the outfielders. Here's the 1-2 pitch, sliced foul left side. Now, Nicole, you had the unique perspective bringing up to the booth of having played here for the Rise last year, and it's a different type of outfield. There's a wind tunnel. It really blows in from left, but then blows out to right. So a little tough on the outfielders first time through.
Definitely is. Whenever you think about a wind tunnel, sometimes it goes into effect, sometimes it doesn't. But with this crosswind that we have going on right now.
Rolled on the ground. The first easy play for Carly Spade as she retires Coleman for the first out.
With that crosswind, just being able to give yourself that extra space. So you may go, where's the wind? Nothing's really happening. And you see these outfielders playing deep. It's because they don't want to give up anything deep in the gap.
So Blampede, Wadle, and Lucas will be in the outfield. Carly Spade at first, Sammy Williams at second, Laird at short, Alex Brown at third with Smith behind the plate and Ford on the mound. And here is Jocelyn Allo making her Bill Edwards debut. She was supposed to play last year but was playing for Team USA, so missed the road trip up to New York. And there were a lot of disappointed Oklahoma fans last year not getting a chance to see Allo, but now the opportunity to see her here. She's hitting .583 on the year, 4 home runs and 18 RBIs, and takes high the count 1-1.
We talked about Jalen Ford being a nibbler. This is a hitter that you do not want to give any part of the plate to. You want to get ahead early and then nibble around.
And there you see Allo, the most home runs in NCAA history. Carly Spade, number 2, as the count is 2-1. Allo, 2-time USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year, 2-time national champ. Grew up in Hauula, Hawaii. I hope I pronounced that right. 2-1, 2-2.
That area of Hawaii, just absolutely beautiful. I don't think there is a part of Hawaii that's not, but having seen it with my own eyes, it is just an ideal place to grow up in. And once you're a part of the island, everyone is rooting for you. So that love that she gets whenever she goes back home, it's pretty special.
Credit to her with her big dreams, too, of perfecting her craft. But you're right. Once you grow up over there, why would you ever want to leave?
Go to the University of Oklahoma and win some national championships, of course.
That helps, and represent your country. 3-2, sprayed foul down the right field line.
Doing a good job there. That foul ball by Allo, that was about a ball and a half. But again, depending on the strike zone, we haven't seen too many pitches yet this game. You don't want to surrender your bat, give up anything, just battling.
3-2 pitch, and that's driven into the gap, falling fast. It's down for a base hit as it one-hops the wall. Allo on her way to second. The throw from Wadle, not in time. Third double of the year for Jocelyn Allo, and OKC has a runner in scoring position.
And that's what we just talked about, leaving the ball over the heart of the plate against a hitter like this. You can see that one, way too much plate on that inside half. That is her wheelhouse. But we talked about that wind tunnel. That wind tunnel, keeping it down, keeping it in the park.
So Allo's at second, and that'll bring up Kinsey Hansen, the backstop. Hansen, another Sooner, hitting .484 on the year. 3 home runs, 14 RBIs. One of 3 Sooners to have 4 national championship rings at the University of Oklahoma. And I'm curious, is there a 4-timers club, kind of like SNL, over at Oklahoma?
There is now after that class graduated. Pretty special. I used to think 2 was a pretty big deal. And then they got 4, and I was like, I guess I'm just a washed-up alumni now. I don't even know what to say.
So you're no longer part of the group text anymore?
No longer part of the group text.
Hansen rolls it to short. Laird fires to first. A productive out as Allo moves over to third. And there's 2 down. Interesting that Laird played that through and didn't try and race out Alo. Let's take another look.
I mean, this one, you can see Alo just going. She's immediately, as soon as that ball is hit, she has a slight stutter step. By the time Laird fields it, she's maybe a step or 2 after. There's definitely a play over there at third.
Here's Sydney Sherrill attacks the first pitch and pumps it foul. Sherrill, a national champion as well back in 2018 with the Florida State Seminoles. Sherrill hitting .440 on the year. 6 extra base hits, but only 3 RBIs. Oklahoma City sweeping New York in their first series of the year in 4 straight. 2-1 victory, 9-0, 7-6, and 12-4. As that's fouled back towards us, and the count 1-2. Well, Jalen Ford's been around the strike zone and looking to throw up a scoreless frame.
Crowd starting to get into it a little bit as well. Always love the assist.
1-2, waste pitch outside, 2-2. You can make the argument, pretty concise argument, double play the best mascot across Fast Pitch United and perhaps other softball teams in the nation. 2-2 on the way. Just missed inside. And the count runs full.
You can see the reaction from behind the plate from Smith. She wanted that pitch. That one has been called 3 times already, but that has been with righties in the box. Whenever you have a lefty, sometimes that strike zone, it shrinks up a little bit.
Alyssa Brito would be next. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. That's high, ball 4. Good battle by Sherrill. Keep the inning going for Alyssa Brito.
The shortstop, number 33, Alyssa Brito.
And this is where Spark, their on-base percentage, that's why it's so high. They are tough outs, especially with 2 strikes. They enter into another mindset mentally. They do not want to surrender their at-bat. I'll surrender it if I get a hit and you make a play, but you're not going to get me out here at the plate.
Brito lays off the first pitch and takes high for ball 1.
First time Ford hasn't had a first pitch strike.
I saw last year in the series here that OKC very patient at the plate. 1-0, sprayed foul. Well, Brito's driven in 7 runs this year, hitting .455, a couple of home runs. How about this, a 1470 OPS?
Just casually throwing that one out there, right?
Is that good? Ford gets a strike and ahead in the count 1-2.
She's been almost an underdog whenever you have names like Jada Coleman, Jocelyn Allo, Kenzie Hansen, Sydney Sherrill. Alyssa Brito sometimes just gets a little by the wayside, but she has been consistent. So consistent. I think she deserves a little bit more credit.
Swing and a miss. She struck her out. Jalen Ford leaves a couple of runners on, but gets through the first unscathed. At the end of the top of the first, OKC nothing, and New York coming to bat here on the All Women's Sports Network.
AZ Gloveman is Casa Grande, Arizona's quality leather sporting goods provider. Softball, baseball, batting gloves, and more. AZ Gloveman caters to men's and women's slow-pitch softball markets throughout the United States. Build your dream glove today at azgloveman.com. With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Cam Wood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out camwoodbats.com today. Baker Air is a veteran and family-owned heating and air conditioning company from Long Island with more than 3 generations of HVAC experience. We value our customers and take great pride in our work. We strive to make Baker Air's goal to remain fair, honest, loyal, and reliable. Our customers are the ones who keep our small business thriving. Request an estimate today at bakerair.com.
Maddie Penta takes the mound. The Auburn Tiger is feisty so far this year, and she has been exceptional. 1-1 with a 4.32 ERA, but got the start Saturday, went 5 innings, gave up a run on 3 hits, but had 12 strikeouts, and a big reason for that, she throws strike 1.
She likes to get ahead early. She has pitches for her first pitches as well. Try saying that 5 times fast, right? But she is not going to give you a first pitch strike as a hitter that's over the heart of the plate. She's going to nail those corners very first pitch. She wants to assert her dominance early on.
Just diving into the analytics, 74% of her pitches are for strike 1, and Alex Brown, now the new leadoff hitter for the New York Rise, will start it off. The former Clemson Tiger. That's ready to go here at Bill Edwards Stadium, and Alex from Savannah, Georgia, hitting .275 on the year. Started the year hitting .342, and then the book came out on her, but Michaela Transu says that she sees Brown trying to turn a corner. And that first pitch misses inside for ball 1.
Double play back there, just trying to distract Maddie Penta. Must have worked. You're just talking about how effective she is first pitch strikes. I have to admit, I'm a little distracted myself as well. Those hips, they don't lie.
Well, take it easy. We got 7 innings to go. But that's one of the things, too, and what's cool about this Oklahoma City Spark team, they have a good following, especially in the Northeast. Not a lot of these softball fans get the chance to travel down south, so seeing them right in their own backyard is pretty huge. And there's a strike from Penta, and the count 2-1.
Seeing Brown not necessarily offer, but just see what Penta will do whenever she shows bunt. Showing it the last 2 pitches. As he said, Cheryl taking a couple steps up over at third.
There's a Rise team collectively an on-base percentage of .386, and trying to add to that, 20 stolen bases this year. The offense has not been the issue for the Rise. It's been holding on to leads and playing defense. They're looking to get off to a hot start in a 3-2 count, drawn by Alex Brown.
Whenever you look at their offensive innings as well, they're very cluster-like. They'll get a bunch of hits together, and right before they're able to score 4 or 5 runs, they get out.
Brown rolls it right side. First opportunity for Rachel Becker, and she throws out the speedy Brown for out number 1.
Right fielder number 28, Lauren Lucas.
Well, here's Brown just busting it down the line.
Really good pitch there by Penta, low and away with 2 strikes as a lefty. That is such a hard pitch to get to, especially if you have the tendency to stand a little bit more upright in the box, as Brown does. That was a really good placement by her.
Here's Lauren Lucas. Watches outside for ball 1. So, hey, show up to the ballpark. You never know what you're going to see. And defensively, you just saw Becker make the play. Jocelyn Allo gets a start at first base. Brito and Sherrill on the left side of the infield. Riley Boone, Jada Coleman, and Alina Torres, the no-fly zone for OKC. And Lucas swings through a riser, 1-1.
You're going to see Penta work up and down in the zone. A lot of drop, a lot of rise. Occasionally, she'll toss in an off-speed drop. She really likes to work those 2 different planes on hitters.
Lucas takes the strike and the count 1-2. Well, a good bounce-back game for Lucas, who was struggling coming into the series against the Vibe last week. She just had 1 hit in her previous 10 at-bats, struck out 5 times, but then went 2 for 4 with an RBI double Wednesday night against the Vibe. Fouls it back to the screen, the count 1-2.
That's that same pitch that we saw Brown kind of ground out over to Becker at second base. That was a good job just getting a piece of that, fouling it back by Lucas. Like you said, something must have changed, seeing the ball a little bit differently.
One-two on the way. 2-2.
Good hold there by Lucas.
Rise coming off a 6-5 victory against the Florida Vibe last Wednesday. It was supposed to be a short 2-game series, but the rain in the New York metropolitan area hasn't been so great as that strike 3 is poured on the outside half. And Penta gets her first K of the evening.
Number 26, Riley Lemke.
Really good pitch there by Pinto on that corner. We talked about how she's able to spot up on the corners. That is exactly what she did with that pitch. Lefties for Rise, that's something that they're going to have to keep an eye on. They're going to have to adjust to.
Here's Riley Blampede, attacks the first pitch. Second opportunity for Becker, and she handles it flawlessly. A 1-2-3 inning for Maddie Penta. We're scoreless through the first. It's OKC and New York on the All Women Sports Network.
With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Camwood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out camwoodbats.com today. Conveniently located in Rockville Center, Frank's Steaks is a refined but casual, authentic New York steakhouse on Long Island. Since it opened 40 years ago, Frank's Steaks has been committed to serving high-quality prime cuts of beef in a timeless New York atmosphere with a friendly, attentive waitstaff. It's this obsessive dedication to our craft that has led Frank's Steaks to becoming the local destination for special dinners and celebrations. Great crowd here at Bill Edwards Stadium, and always nice to see local softball teams and youth softball teams getting a chance to see some of their heroes.
Always fun, double play. Has some puppies he's throwing out.
See, now that's the new addition here at Bill Edwards Stadium, and the cool thing, and she's Nicole Mendez, I'm John Perez. A couple of cool things. The one thing I think that needs to be sold at the merch table, if not at the end of this homestand, but next year, is the torch when you guys would hit home runs.
Oh, the torch is iconic. I mean, we're in New York. It's incredible. And like we saw, 28 home runs on the year. So I think it would be kind of cool to see the crowd being able to lift up as the runner comes home. That'd be pretty good.
So definitely the torch. The double play dolls are on sale. And you got to come to a game here at Bill Edwards Stadium. We've got a game tomorrow night and Friday night, and then finally closing out the homestand, or the home portion of the schedule, next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday against the Orlando Monarchs, as Haley Lee steps up to the plate. Lee scalded out to center field. Wadle turns around, looks up, and it's gone. Haley Lee unloads for her 6th home run of the year, and OKC strikes first, 1-0 in the second.
Haley Lee fired up by this one. Over the heart of the plate. That pitch is just a little too much, especially that early in the count whenever you still have balls to give. Jalen Ford not happy with that one, and Haley Lee walking away a little bit more satisfied, able to bump up Spark's home run record right there. But that is the type of hitter that you're going to get whenever you're facing Spark. The one that likes to attack. Whenever they see something that they're sitting on, they're planning on, they go after it and they swing hard. I think we'll start to see as this game continues to progress. Jalen Ford is a nibbler, but we'll start to see an off-speed be incorporated a little bit more to continue to throw them off the scent.
And so that's the million-dollar question here. And a pitcher in Ford that likes to, try and work the corners. But how do you not unveil your entire arsenal first time through if you want to go deep in the ballgame? As Boone takes outside in the count 2-1.
I think the biggest key for Ford is getting that first pitch strike. She is somebody who likes to nibble, but if she's able to establish that zone early on, one, you're already saving yourself, but two,
the little roller back to the circle, and that's going to be an infield hit. Riley Boone can fly, and she shows off her speed as she picks up the second hit of the inning for the Spark.
And this one just an absolute tap and go from Riley Boone. You can see she gets that one right on the end of her hands, and it just goes nowhere. Absolutely deadens. You can tell Jalen Ford, as she was going to grab that one, she knew there was no play. Riley Boone, a lot of speed over at first.
It's almost like a cheat code.
Speed doesn't slump. That's the saying in softball. I've found it to be true myself multiple times.
Well, anybody looking at the box score tomorrow will see a hard hit up the middle from Boone. That was anything but as Alina Torres takes low for ball one. Well, Torres can swing it. Started her career at Arizona State before going over to Oklahoma. Went 1 for 3 Sunday afternoon with a run scored. Spark
Spark suffering their second loss of the year, dropping the finale against Florida 6-4 after their offense ran in roughshod through the first two games. A 12-4 victory and then an 11-2 win against Florida.
This offense, whenever they score fast.
Bunt popped up and gets over the head of Spade. Strike two.
She was crashing in pretty hard. As soon as Torres squared around, you could tell those corners, they knew they were expecting it to come. With the speed of Boone, it's not surprising that they would try to shift her over, get her to second base.
Here's the interesting stat. Boone only one stolen base in 2 attempts this year. Ford ahead in the count, 1-2. And on the ground to second. Williams goes to second for one. Laird the turn, a double play. Nicely done by the defense as Williams starts the 4-6-3 double play.
This one, that's exactly what you want to see from your defense. You have a couple of oopsies, you give up a home run, but this right there, Williams able to get it out of her glove quick. And that transition from Laird, that is what's going to get you that double play. You take any longer to get that ball out of the glove and you're toast.
This brings up Rachel Becker. And Becker takes low for ball one. Well, Becker now a teammate, but I'm sure at that first training camp seen as the enemy coming from Oklahoma State. Hitting 400 on the year. No home runs, 5 RBIs.
Are you reading my mind? I was just thinking that. How many girls are from the state of Oklahoma, played in the state of Oklahoma? Said Cheryl, she played at Florida State, but she's an Oklahoma native girl, right in between Stillwater and Norman. A lot of in-state pride.
Now, is it just OKC that's Boomtown, or is it the whole
Just
state?
OKC.
Okay. I'm trying to brush up on my OKC lingo.
I was in OKC for the World Series, bought a book about the history of OKC. Haven't cracked it yet, though, so I'll let you know whenever I finally get around to that book.
I think we might have the same book. Which
We might.
Boomtown?
Boomtown.
Is that what it's called?
It is.
All right, about the Thunder and
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! All right, so if you guys want to join the Mendez Perez Book Club, reach out on social media. A lot of wind tunnels, a lot of tornadoes. Ford looking for a strikeout after getting the double play. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and that's just outside ball 4. Second walk issued by Ford, and that'll roll over the lineup and bring up Jada Coleman.
Yeah, that's exactly what you don't want if you're Rise. Being able to get that double play was huge, but what stands at the second half of this lineup, Jada Coleman, just one of those hitters, scrappy, battles with 2 strikes, but you have Jocelyn Allo who doubled back in the first.
Coleman grounded out to first in the first inning, and ahead in the count 1-0. And Ford will call out Smith.
See some frustration on her face, thinking some of those are going to get called, thinking some of those are where she wants it. You saw it. She was behind to Becker 3-0, had to battle back, ended up giving up the walk. But that's exactly what probably we're seeing right here from Tina, just saying, hey, be slow, take your time, relax, be patient.
And so as they're getting ready in there, I'm always curious, when the pitcher calls the catcher out, is there a certain message or a universal message that you're getting from the pitcher?
Depends on the pitcher. Sometimes they're going out and they're saying, hey, you know what? I want this pitch whenever it's in this situation, or I sense something from a hitter. Or sometimes you call them out and you go, I just need a second. I'm frustrated. I just need you to stand here and pretend, and I'll be frustrated.
Throw down to second, but that's not going to count. Home plate umpire Gil Zayas coming out, and we'll see what the call is. Not sure if there was interference or what it was. Perhaps maybe timeout was called beforehand. Now the Spark and Rise going to their dugouts. Well, there's an oopsie. You saw right there. Let's take another look.
I don't see anything there that would call a dead ball. Not really sure what that was, but looks like it's going to stand, and that's exactly where you want it to be. A great throw by McKenna Smith behind the plate into the wind tunnel to get that third out.
Haley Lee goes deep, 1-0 Spark, going to the bottom of the second. Phoenix Tube is one of the world's leading stainless steel long products, with focus on ornamental and structural tubing, as well as processed flat bar. What began as nothing more than the founder's vision, the company started from very humble beginnings in 1980. 40-plus years later, the company has over 25 production lines, as well as a full line of slitting and finishing capabilities. An everyday commitment to uncompromising quality and superior customer service has enabled them to build a loyal customer base. The growth has been further fueled by continued and heavy investment in state-of-the-art equipment and technology, enabling them to remain at the forefront of the industry. As Phoenix Tube begins its 5th decade, it looks forward to a promising future with the same commitment to the principles that have guided them for these years. Learn more today at phoenixtube.com. With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Camwood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out camwoodbats.com today. Bottom of the second inning, and I think we have an answer as to that final play last inning. And so take a look at McKenna Smith behind the plate. I think she hits home plate umpire Gil Zayas, but because the throw was in time, they kind of just played through it.
You could see him gesture to the side, a little bit of an obstruction, and this is a view, I think, that you're really going to see it. Just that elbow hitting the umpire's mask, getting in the way. You could tell she was a little frustrated. Wasn't after that out, and like you said, because the out was made, call's going to stand. Rise there back in the box.
But a solo home run from Haley Lee gives the Spark a 1-0 lead as Courtney Day takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. Well, we talk about Carly Spade and what she was able to do as a home run hitter back in college. Courtney Day has gotten it done at the professional level, hitting 8 home runs this year. 370 average and 18 RBIs. And Day swings at a low drop ball on the count 0-2.
And that's that off speed that you're going to see from Penta. It's that off speed drop ball. Insane break. You'll see 4 or 5 inches whenever it falls off. But the hardest thing about that pitch is you can't tell the difference between her hard and off speed. That is why you've seen 3, 4 swings and misses from her already tonight.
Struck out Lauren Lucas looking in the first inning and got a couple of ground outs to the second baseman, Rachel Becker. And ahead in the count, 0-2 to Courtney Day. And stays high in the count, 2-2. Day originally signed a 3-week contract with the Rise, and that's just continued to extend. And I know that there's a lot that goes into it, personal reasons, availability, and things like that, but what an addition Courtney Day has been to the middle of this order. 2-2, sprayed foul. We'll do it again.
I mean, that's exactly what you want to see in the heart of this order. You have Courtney Day, McKenna Smith, and Carly Spade. I mean, talk about the three-headed monster. That's a lot of times you'll have runners on base already. They're able to make chaos. They're able to create some noise. Like you said, signed initially as short-term. They saw what she could do offensively, and they go, yeah, we want to keep her around. We're going to keep that bat just a little bit longer.
On the inside corner, got her looking as Penta freezes Day for the first out of the second.
It's her second strikeout of this game so far. Had one in each inning, but I made that question earlier. She's been getting and pounding that zone to outside to lefties, and I wasn't quite sure if we'd see her continue to pepper that inside to righties. I think we got our answer. She's not afraid to go in there.
And blazes a fastball in there for a strike, 0-1 to McKenna Smith, who had a hit and 2 at-bats Wednesday night. Smith joined the team late, was here for the first homestand in the last week of June. Hitting .222 on the year, the count even at 1-1.
Smith was in Japan playing in a different league that she plays in throughout the remainder of the year. One of her teammates, Kelly Maxwell, in the dugout for OKC Sparks. So there's a lot of familiarity here, not just because this is the third series they've matched up on, but because of teammates.
Lifted to right. Alina Torres on the run makes the catch to retire Smith. And 5 straight retired by Maddie Penta to begin her Wednesday night.
Number 40, Harley Spade.
She has been efficient so far, just attacking the zone. Rise, they know that's how she functions. They know that's how she works. So they're looking to swing early. They're just missing on that one. McKenna Smith just sky-high'd that one, a little underneath. If your Rise mindset here is how hard can I hit this ball into the ground? I want a hard hit ball right to a defender. I don't care. I just want to hit the ball hard.
And so that's the interesting thing about the Rise, in that, and I don't mean to be softball dork here, but only 22% of their balls in play are line drives, and you've got 40% that are in the air. And with the speed of this roster, you want to see those numbers flip.
Especially whenever you have a pitcher like Maddie Penta who works down and up in the zone. She's going to use that drop ball to her advantage whenever she starts to see those swing planes start to flatten out. Okay, let me go in with my drop ball, get those swings and misses, those easy rollovers.
Penta ahead in the count, 0-2. Just off the plate for ball 1. See the outfield respecting the power of Spade. Second most home runs in NCAA history. Her and Allo, the only 2 players to hit more than 100 home runs in their careers. That misses inside, and the count 2-2. But especially with the wind and how it blows out, Spade lifted one the other way into the trees out in right center field in the last homestand. So that's the fun thing about Spade. She's not pull happy. She hits to all fields. 2-2 on the way.
I think that's also a sign of a really good hitter. As Kinsey Hansen behind the plate thought that was strike 3. I think that one a little off the plate. You can see the smile from Spade going, yeah, I know. I'm going to stick around a little bit longer. But that's a sign of a great hitter, is whenever their spray chart, it shows that they're able to hit to all fields. And I think signs of the best hitters are able to hit oppo.
Payoff pitch. And Spade spoils it foul. Did you get a chance to watch the MLB All-Star game last night?
Oh, my gosh, did I?
You know, that last pitch, if you could protest it, probably would have been strike 3. I don't know if we'll get there in the softball world, but your thoughts on maybe an automated strike zone?
You know, I think it just depends why the game has continued to evolve and push, is because they want the game, everyone wants the game, coaches, players, fans, they want the game to be better. And if it makes the game better, I could see eventually softball could move towards that. But personally, I think it's a little too early to tell. And I don't know. I just like the energy of an umpire. I like that. I like that a little bit more, but call me old school.
Spade, a little dunker into left, coming on. Boone makes the catch. Riley Boone covers a lot of ground, and Spade is retired as Betty Penta retires the first 6 batters of the evening, and there's Riley Boone showing off that speed.
This one I thought was going to fall down into the gap. You had that wind blowing hard in. You see Riley Boone starting off deep in the middle of left field, but the way that she's able to track it, you could see her on the run really turning on the juice.
On to the third, 1-0 OKC. College planning is a complex, multi-year journey requiring academic and standardized test success, resume building, and sensible college selection, as well as application savvy. Our college readiness services are designed to help you start early, stay organized, and navigate the critical process with confidence. With college admission and financial advising and ACT, SAT test prep, visit methodlearning.com today. Back here at Bill Edwards Stadium, and a 1-0 lead for OKC. And there's double play. Giving away some free stuff. He and Ali Melendez, I think 2 of the most popular people here at Bill Edwards Stadium.
Hey, I've always said, you give away free food or free T-shirts, and everybody will love you. You're the favorite.
I think if double play wants to run for office, here's his electorate. How about this?
That is the most well-trained dog I've ever seen.
Well, if you want to see double play, here are the remaining home games here at Bill Edwards Stadium. We've got 2 more this week, tomorrow night and Friday night against the Spark, and then next week, the final 3 home games of the year against the Orlando Monarchs. You can purchase tickets at thenewyorkrise.com. So 1-0 lead for OKC as Jalen Ford gets ready to go. And she'll deal to the second part of the order. Jada Coleman was at the plate during the caught stealing, so she'll lead off the 3rd inning. But Ford so far has been around the plate, but last inning, OKC really coming around on her. As Coleman attacks the first pitch and rolls it to second, and Sammy Williams flips over to first to retire Coleman for the first out of the 3rd.
I had just mentioned last inning, I think we're going to start to see Jalen Ford as the innings go on. You're going to see more off-speed start to happen. That's exactly what we saw there from Jada Coleman. That off-speed, you could see her getting out in front, kind of lunging towards that ball.
So here's Jocelyn Allo. Banged a double to the gap in left center field and takes up and in for ball 1. Allo now 8 extra base hits on the season as that .583 average continues to rise. And Ford pours in a strike, the count 1-1.
Ford, she's been getting a lot of wiggle room. We've seen it with Pinta as well on that outside corner to righties. I would stay there and then bust Allo in with an off speed down in the dirt. See her continue to throw that rise. Just today, just not competitive, too far out of the zone. As a hitter, an effective pitcher's pitch is if you see a hitter lean towards that back shoulder, that back hip, really triggering hard.
Allo takes a strike and the count 2-2.
See Jocelyn Allo calling time, not happy with that outside pitch. And this is where you have to battle as a hitter. That ball is pretty deep into that river. If you're Jalen Ford, continue to take advantage. I'd go farther out, see if you get anything from that. If you're Jocelyn Allo, you have to protect.
She goes that way and gets the strike called. First time this year that Jocelyn Allo has been struck out, and there's 2 away in the 3rd.
Number 9.
That is what you want to see from Jalen Ford. After having the last inning, she gave up a home run her first at-bat, gave up a couple of hard hits, had a double play that got her out, and then her catcher behind the plate got her out of a tough inning. You come right out, you get 2 quick outs.
Kinsey Hansen grounded out to the shortstop in her last at-bat. And behind in the count, 0-1. Kinsey Hansen, Riley Boone, Jada Coleman, 4-time national champs, and now Hansen even at the count, 1-1. 2023 Johnny Bench Award winner for Best College Softball Catcher. Part of the 2022 USA Softball Women's National Team in the U.S.-Japan All-Star Series, and takes up and in. Count 2-1.
I like that pitch from Jalen Ford just because she has been pounding the outside half to righties. Going back up and in, yes, it wasn't a strike, but it keeps these hitters honest. I can't be having them lean over the plate too much. They'll be able to get that one. And that will make a pitch like that. You saw Kinsey Hansen, her reaction on that one, a lot more competitive than if you just continue to throw on the outside. Good job by Hansen being able to hold up.
She's ahead in the count, 3-1. And the pitch. Lifted deep right field. Lucas gets turned around at the warning track, reaches up, and it lands in play. Hansen on her horse. She's thinking 3. Relay throw from Williams. Not in time. It's a triple for Kinsey Hansen.
Kinsey Hansen, a little bit of smile from her coach there. This wind has been a factor all game long. We've seen bits and pieces of it playing its role, but this is the swing right here that you really see it up high. You can see Lucas just kind of getting her feet mixed up, not able to get it in time, and Kinsey Hansen, she's standing on 3rd.
Sydney Sherrill pops the first pitch foul, 0-1. Talk about the wind tunnel here at Hofstra. You've got the David S. Mack Center out in right center field, and now the wind blowing out towards right, but not easy for any of these outfielders.
Yeah, and those flags are a little misleading because it looks like there's not too much wind, there's not too much breeze. But whenever you have a giant building standing out in center field, and then on its left and right, in left field and right field, you got a lot of wind headed your way.
Well, Ford ahead in the count, 0-2. After Sherrill pokes it foul. Kinsey Hansen, the runner at third, and the pitch misses inside. Count 1-2. Sherrill will walk back in the first inning, extending that inning. This will be pitch number 55 for Ford. Got her. Jalen Ford paints the corner and picks up her second strikeout of the inning. She's got 3 overall, 1-0 going to the bottom of the third. At Just Bats, our business strategy is simple. Get the perfect bat for you on time, every time, exactly as you promised. We not only provide you with the baseball bats and softball bats, but we also provide you with a winning experience and a promise like nobody else. Free shipping both ways, expert customer service, same-day shipping up until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, on time, every time, exactly as promised at Just Bats. AZ Gloveman is Casa Grande, Arizona's quality leather sporting goods provider. Softball, baseball, batting gloves, and more. AZ Gloveman caters to men's and women's slow-pitch softball markets throughout the United States. Build your dream glove today at azgloveman.com. With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Camwood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out camwoodbats.com today. Maddie Penta with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning alongside Nicole Mendez. I'm John Perez, and your thoughts on Penta through her first 2 frames?
I think she has been absolutely stellar with nailing those corners. Seen a couple of swings and misses, but it's really that drop ball outside to lefties, drop ball inside to righties. That is where she's been making her bread and butter.
2 scoreless innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, a couple of strikeouts. 29 pitches so far as the Rise will have Jenna Laird lead it off, 7-8-9. 2 up for the Rise. Well, part of the lineup shuffling sees Jenna Laird go from the leadoff spot now to the 7 hole, and the one benefit of dropping Laird down is you kind of take some pressure off, and her speed's still a factor at the bottom of the order.
Definitely, and she's at the tail end of that 3-headed monster that we talked about. Courtney Day, McKenna Smith, and Carly Spade, who 1-2-3 last inning from Penta. That tells you how good she's been pitching. But if you're Laird, you're getting to lead off in that 7 spot. A lot of times you'll see 7 be that lead off. It's like you get a whole nother lineup right away. So this is a good spot for her to be in, especially for Rise in this inning. You're in the third. You're starting to get to that kind of worker innings, if you will, the innings 3 through 5.
Laird dealing with back spasms, so she didn't make the trip to Atlanta after the Colorado trip where she went 1 for 6, but went 1 for 4 in her first game back Wednesday night and did a good job in the field as well. Hitting .216 on the year, 1 home run and 8 RBIs. And Penta calls time in the circle. Two on the way. And that's outside, 1-2.
Looked like Penta just didn't want that pitch. She was waiting to reset, readjust, trying to get on the same page with Kinsey Hansen. Whenever you're a pitcher, I always say it's better to throw a pitch that may be more in the hitter's favor, but throw it 100% confident, than to throw one and go, yeah, this is a good pitch, but I'm not 100% committed to it, because that's when you pitch the ball over the plate. That's whenever you miss wide. Being 100% committed to pitchers. You yourself said you were a catcher. I mean, I'm sure you can attest to that.
No, I agree. And a lot of coaches will say that errors are a part of the games and mental errors, but you'd rather have the aggressive errors than the indecisiveness. 1-2, hit on the ground right side. A lot of English there, but Rachel Becker handles it flawlessly. That's now 3 assists for the second baseman, Becker.
Pitch tight in on the hands of Laird. Really, really good location there by Pinta. And it looked like for a second, Becker, she was going to overrun it. Had to reset her feet pretty quick. But I think because of how tight it was on the hands, that ball not hit too soundly, she was able to make it.
Sammy Williams digs in. That's a good rip and a riser. It fouls it right back to the screen. 0-1.
Pretty aggressive early on in this count. Rise, they've only had 4 swings in the first 2 pitches, and Sammy's the 4th one. We've been pretty patient, especially with a pitcher that likes to get ahead early. Rise has been pretty patient with her.
Williams, a good eye for the strike zone. She's reached base in each of her last 8 games and drew 2 walks Wednesday night, the last time that the Rise played. 6-5 victory against the Florida Vibe. But behind in the count, 0-2. As Penta looks for her 3rd K of the evening. Gets the sign and comes home with the 0-2. And Williams stays alive.
It's a good effort on that low and away pitch. Seen a couple of swings and misses on that one for sure, that off speed. You look at what Rise has done. Pinta has been almost perfect so far. Quick outs, very efficient on the mound.
And a good waste pitch and a good stop by Hansen. 1-2.
After this inning, though, the lineup will turn over. That's whenever you start to see, okay, I got to see her the first time at my at-bat. Here's this adjustment that I'm going to make. Now I can't wait for my second at-bat, for my third at-bat. That's whenever you see those hitters start to make those changes.
1-2 just missed. And the count even at 2-2. Williams, the highest contact percentage on the team. So that 208 batting average, a little deceiving. But just really got herself into a hole. Started the year 1 for 16, has started to come out of the slump. 4th year playing professionally as she lifts it to shallow right, Becker and Torres, and it's Rachel Becker to nab it for the second out.
And this win, especially on that right side, it is tricky. You have to stay with it all the way. You can see Becker, she's playing step or 2 up the middle. That range from her, but it becomes a foot race between her and Alina Torres out and right. And you can see Torres just giving her the signal, this one's all yours. But even at that last minute, that wind took that ball a couple more steps than she thought.
So that'll bring up Kayla Wadle, hitting .333 in the month of July. Check swing, and she does not go, says first base umpire Jason Muller. Ball 1. Wadle hitting .304 on the year, 1 extra base hit, which was a double, 6 RBIs. Penta 8 for 8 so far. And throws in a strike, the count 1-1.
Wadle knowing her job, it's almost a blessing to be the 9-hole. You get to see everyone before you. You get to go, what is she throwing? What are you seeing? What's the adjustment that you would make? By the time you're up as a 9-hole, you feel as if you've already had an at-bat.
And so that pitch misses in the count 2-1. To Wadle is New York having a tough time trying to figure out Maddie Penta. But Wadle ahead in the count 2-1. And Wadle lifts it foul out of play. 2-2.
This is where you see swings like that. It's one that's a little bit more over the heart of the plate, but they just miss underneath or they just miss over. It is because Penta, she's been consistently going up and down. As a hitter, your barrel has to be at a certain angle. You have to adjust based on what you're hunting, what you're thinking is coming.
2-2. And that was dropped by Hansen. Not sure if we could see a replay on that because Hansen dropped it, so home plate umpire Gil Zayas didn't call strike 3, and I think that's what Wadle thought. Let's see.
An active take. She thought, like you said, she thought that one was strike 3. You could see it on her face, and then whenever she saw it hit the ground, she was like, okay, it's good. It didn't get called. I'm fine. I'm safe here.
Ball don't lie. Penta strikes out Wadle for the third K of the inning, or third K of the night. Let's go to the fourth, 1-0 OKC.
Your favorite 4 letters.
Phoenix Tube is one of the world's leading stainless steel long products, with focus on ornamental and structural tubing, as well as processed flat bar. What began as nothing more than the founder's vision, the company started from very humble beginnings in 1980. 40-plus years later, the company has over 25 production lines, as well as a full line of slitting and finishing capabilities. An everyday commitment to uncompromising quality and superior customer service has enabled them to build a loyal customer base. The growth has been further fueled by continued and heavy investment in state-of-the-art equipment and technology, enabling them to remain at the forefront of the industry. As Phoenix Tube begins its 5th decade, it looks forward to a promising future with the same commitment to the principles that have guided them for these years. Learn more today at phoenixtube.com. Baker Air is a veteran and family-owned heating and air conditioning company from Long Island with more than 3 generations of HVAC experience. We value our customers and take great pride in our work. We strive to make Baker Air's goal to remain fair, honest, loyal, and reliable. Our customers are the ones who keep our small business thriving. Request an estimate today at bakerair.com.
It's almost at the halfway point, and Jalen Ford and the New York Rise trailing 1-0 to OKC. 5-6-7 due up for the Spark. Alyssa Brito, Haley Lee, and Riley Boone. And a better inning for Jalen Ford. She struck out 2 in the previous inning and really bounced back after giving up the triple to Kinsey Hansen. And her first pitch to Alyssa Brito is off the plate for ball 1. Brito was strikeout back in the first inning.
Good pitch there from Ford. That off-speed kind of floating in a bit. And I think that's another reason why we saw her be more effective. Those spark hitters, they had to factor in, okay, there's a different speed. I have to be ready.
That's driven a deep left field, a no-doubter. Alyssa Brito has gone deep. A solo home run, second home run of the day for the Spark as Brito goes deep for the 3rd time this year. 2-0 OKC.
Well, I had talked about the power that Brito has, how she's a little bit underrated. Struck out right after I had said that. But this time she came for her revenge tour. This one elevated over the middle of the plate. Alyssa Brito said, "Thank you so much. I will take that. What is a wind tunnel?" And she sent that one far into the night. I mean, that one, the exit velo on that one, it got out quick. Speaking of home runs, we have Haley Lee, who hit a home run just 2 innings ago.
She wasted no time either attacking the first pitch. But a little chin music in her second at-bat started off. Now 6 home runs, 17 RBIs on the season for Lee. And Ford gets the strike. Count 1-1. Haley Lee grew up in Kingwood, Texas, went to Oklahoma. 0 for 2 with a walk Sunday afternoon. One pitch, that's in there for a strike, 1-2.
Not a bad start to today's game either. Right now, kind of falling in that hole. It's a similar situation she was in last at bat. Jalen Ford left one over the heart of the plate. We've seen that a few times. I want to see her nibble just a little more.
Lee rolls it back to the circle. Ford picks it up and fires to first to get Lee for the first out.
And that's exactly what you want to see from Ford. Letting these hitters get themselves out. You don't want to put anything over the plate, especially whenever they have to defend. They're behind in the count. You get a pitch that's in the other batter's box. Haley Lee not able to hold back. Easy ground ball. And you have a pitcher like Jalen Ford who's able to field really well.
Riley Boone hit a ball probably about 2 feet shorter than what Lee did in her last at-bat and had an infield single, so she's 1 for 1. As the corners play in. And the count 2-0.
Riley Boone likes to describe herself as a bit of a trickster in the box. Triple threat, bunt, hit, slap. So you'll see these defenders constantly adjusting, shifting around. like we saw her first at bat. She touches it, she puts it on play, she puts it on the ground. There's always a chance. She is very, very speedy. As soon as that ball is down, she's gone.
Taking all the way and 4 straight out of the zone, and Boone's aboard for the second time tonight. Third walk from Ford, and that'll bring up Alina Torres.
Torres was the one who grounded into that double play her last at bat. Just that nibble pitch. Whenever you get ahead for Jalen Ford, she has seen so much success with these hitters chasing out of the zone. Would love to see her attack and then go back to that off speed.
First pitch popped up left side. Laird calling all the way and hauls it in for the second out. Queen size second out to retire Torres, and that'll bring up Rachel Becker.
A lot of aggressive swings from Spark tonight that we've seen. They are going after this pitcher. It's good communication, too, with this win from Laird over at short. Nice job by Brown, bailing, letting her know it's completely yours, I'm out of the way.
Becker skies it out to left field. There's Blampede, makes the catch, and the inning is over. But a solo home run by Alyssa Brito extends the Spark lead to 2-0. We're halfway home on the All Women's Sports Network. With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Camwood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out CamwoodBats.com today. Conveniently located in Rockville Center, Frank's Steaks is a refined but casual, authentic New York steakhouse on Long Island. Since it opened 40 years ago, Frank's Steaks has been committed to serving high-quality prime cuts of beef in a timeless New York atmosphere with a friendly, attentive waitstaff. It's this obsessive dedication to our craft that has led Frank's Steaks to becoming the local destination for special dinners and celebrations. At Just Bats, our business strategy is simple. Get the perfect bat for you on time, every time, exactly as you promised. We not only provide you with the baseball bats and softball bats, but we also provide you with a winning experience and a promise like nobody else. Free shipping both ways, expert customer service, same-day shipping up until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, on time, every time, exactly as promised at Just Bats. Bottom of the fourth inning here at Bill Edwards Stadium, and a new right fielder for Oklahoma City, Michelle Moultrie, who just celebrated her 35th birthday, one of the all-time greats for the University of Florida, and now patrolling right field for the Spark.
Moultrie had an incredible career, like you said, at Florida, one of the all-time greats. Played on the USA national team, was an Olympian. There's a lot about this athlete. She has a lot of experience, and with this Spark team, who is so well seasoned in college, that transition doesn't always happen the smoothest. Whenever you go from college to pro, it's another level up. So having her there to be able to guide and kind of help that transition, I think, is so beneficial.
It's also great to see how consistent she's been in her career, too. She graduated in 2014, so she's been playing professionally for the last, coming up on her 11th complete season. Thanks for the assist there. I always get tripped up with COVID because it didn't count.
It's not real? Is it? Is it not? I don't
know.
know.
Be careful what you say.
I don't know. I'm saying the timeline of it. The time disappeared. It didn't exist.
That's not Michelle Moultrie. That's Alex Brown, who sprays it foul down the left field line. And the count 1-1. Brown grounded out to the second baseman back in the first inning. There's Brown. Former Clemson Tiger and UNC Tar Heel, leading Clemson to a conference title in her senior season. Jammed foul. And the count 1-1.
That pitch right there, it shows you how deceptive Pinta has been all evening long. That one coming up and in on the hands. I think if Brown had turned in, she may have been able to be hit by that. But we've seen a couple times to those lefties, they are going at it. They're hard swings. It looks like a pitch that they can absolutely crush, and then last minute jumps up and in on the hands.
Yeah, she's got a lot of movement so far and has retired the first 9 batters that she's faced, make it 10. Fourth K from Penta, second swinging. And that's how the home half of the fourth begins.
Maddie Penta on an absolute tear. We're starting to see her mix in some more of that off speed. It's not every now and then, but we're starting to see maybe 2-3 times in at bat.
Lauren Lucas skies the first pitch, shallow left center. Riley Boone, how about this? The wind taking Boone all the way to the infield to make the catch. Hung up there for a while, and Boone able to track it down.
Defense has been key for Spark. They have made several great plays with this win. Look at the hop on this. Off the bat, it automatically looks like it's Jada Coleman's ball. And then you see Alyssa Brito drop step. She's calling it. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Riley Boone comes into the picture and she makes the catch. You can see Alyssa Brito. She cannot believe it. That ball went everywhere. But the communication from that Bermuda Triangle out there, that is one of the hardest plays to make with that wind. Being able to communicate, stick with it, that is big. Defense has been key.
And you're looking at that Bermuda Triangle, so to speak, that has played together for mostly the last 4 years, right, in college and now with OKC. So a lot of familiarity. I'm never good with the pronunciation there.
That always helps, right? Knowing, all right, I know her range. I trust her. Whenever she calls ball, she's going to get it.
Did you have a chance to play at Tom Heath Field at Lawson, or?
I did not.
Okay. I'm just curious what I know that everyone jokes about the weather in Oklahoma and the wind and obviously the sudden storms, but like, is that something that is new to these players, or like have they been used to the gust?
They are definitely used to the gust. I remember during my time, and I heard Coach Gasso say it whenever I was watching the players on the field, their practices.
3-0 Blampede. Green light on 3-0 and fouls it back to the screen.
Big swing on 3-0. But, hey, whenever you got wind like this, something might drop.
Mm-hmm.
But back to that, Coach Gasso would look around and she'd say, it's really windy today. Must be a good day for outfield. And you're like, oh, all right, I guess we're running all over the place today. So that was something that you're very familiar with, very flat in Oklahoma, so a lot of wind.
3-1. That's low. Ball 4. First base runner of the evening for the Rise. And that'll bring up Courtney Day, and just like that, the tying run at the dish.
15, Courtney Day.
And Blampede, she had a tough battle her first at-bat. Ended up ending the inning back in the first, but you could tell that she was on something. She was feeling it. She was in the right rhythm. Good battle by her, and finally a runner on base, and none other than right in front of this 300 monster.
Day attacks the first pitch, spoils it foul, and the count 0-1. Well, the perfect game is over. Now the Rise looking for their first hit. After a battle with Blampede, Maddie Penta getting ready for pitch number 55. 34 of those are for strikes. She's been around the zone today in the 0-1. Make it 1-1. And this will draw out Kinsey Hansen.
This is the second time that we've seen a pitcher call time, get their catcher in, want to talk to them. You can tell these are not just throwers. I'm not just blindly throwing the ball. I am pitching with intent. I'm watching that hitter. I have an idea of where I want to throw, and I'm going to talk it out with my catcher. So you could see her talking it out with Kinsey Hansen, letting her know, here's my attack. I want to go this sequence. Loosen up a little bit, quick smile, and then you're back into it. Kinsey Hansen does a great job managing her batteries.
There's a big swing and a miss, and the count 1-2. So whatever Hansen said was the magic words, as Penta a strike away from getting out of the fourth.
Might have been, hey, let's pull the string, because that one was disgusting. I mean, that was probably the slowest off speed. I would call that one a changeup. that we've seen from Pinta all night.
Did you double up here?
I would.
Drop ball just misses. 2-2.
I was once victimized by 3 change-ups in a row, so after that, I was completely fooled, by the way. After that, I've been a fan for others, not for me.
Yes. 2-2. Up the middle, Brito charges on the run, throws out Day, side retired. 4 no-hit innings for Maddie Penta as we go to the 5th, 2-0 Spark. At Just Bats, our business strategy is simple. Get the perfect bat for you on time, every time, exactly as you promised. We not only provide you with the baseball bats and softball bats, but we also provide you with a winning experience and a promise like nobody else. Free shipping both ways, expert customer service, same-day shipping up until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, on time, every time, exactly as promised at Just Bats. College planning is a complex, multi-year journey requiring academic and standardized test success, resume building, and sensible college selection, as well as application savvy. Our college readiness services are designed to help you start early, stay organized, and navigate the critical process with confidence. With college admission and financial advising and ACT, SAT test prep, visit methodlearning.com today. Back here at Bill Edwards Stadium, she's Nicole Mendez. I'm John Perez. Jalen Ford goes back out to the mound. And Ford's been efficient. She's just given up the 2 solo home runs, but has worked around some trouble.
Oh, she has been efficient in a way that you don't normally expect. Had trouble getting behind in counts, but efficient as far as base runners on. We looked at the beginning of the game, Spark. They have a high average. Almost half of their batters that come to the plate end up getting on. That has not been the case so far. Save for those 2 home runs, it would be a scoreless game right now.
2 runs on 5 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. And the top of the order for the Spark, Coleman, Allo, and Hansen. Jada Coleman, a couple of groundouts against Ford as the corners pinch in. And the first pitch of the 5th inning is at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Coleman slashes it foul. And the count 0-2.
Love that read there from Coleman. Alex Brown tight in. She saw Coleman, her feet start to move through. Doesn't want to give up anything like Riley Boone had. Just a little tap and go. Crashes hard, and Jada Coleman just slices that. Just goes fair, though.
2023 Women's College World Series All-Tournament team and Softball Collegiate Player of the Year, USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year. Little tapper and rolls it foul. 1-2.
Ford pulling a little bit of that Pinta magic, going up and in on the hands of these lefties. Has been a hard pitch for both sides to play off tonight.
Tap back towards the circle, but she defers to Williams, and Williams can't throw out Coleman. That was an in-betweener that I'm not sure if Ford might have had a play on it, but would have been tough for the lefty to shovel it over to first.
Yeah, I think for a moment she thought about reaching for it, and all of a sudden at the last minute she held off. I think she was expecting Williams to be a little bit closer in on Coleman with the slap, in fact. Either way, nice piece of hitting, being able to type that pitch in tight on the hands with her. That's your dream, right? Mm-hmm. That little bloop as a slapper over to second base, cause a little chaos, cause a little confusion, and you're just sitting pretty over there for Jocelyn Al to hit you in.
She doubled to the gap in left center field back in the first, struck out looking in the third. First time she struck out all year, and a snap throw down to first as Kenna Smith says hello to Coleman. Gets back without breaking a sweat.
Especially with the speed of Coleman, not a bad idea for Smith. Just get her one step closer to that bag. Especially with the ball, any ball in the gap. Coleman will be looking to score.
Coleman 2 for 2 on the bases so far this year. Well, despite some of the lopsided scores, these two teams have played close games. It's just OKC coming, or New York coming apart late in the games. You look back to Colorado, a missed call and a couple of errors at third base, and the Spark go on to win that game running away 10-3, but it was a close game at that. Here's the 2-2, and that's just outside, and the count 3-2.
That one tight as can be. I like that pitch still from Jalen Ford. You have Jocelyn Al, like you said, first strikeout of her season. She's coming in looking for revenge, looking to hit something hard.
And she does, taps it to the right side, but Williams' only play is to first. As Allo grounds out, she's 1 for 3, and Coleman moves into scoring position.
Nice play there by Williams, staying down on that one on the little in-between hop. Those are so easy sometimes, especially whenever you're expecting a ball to be shot right at you. Whenever you get those little in-between grounders, it's almost like you have a million and 2, million and 3, and you're just waiting for that ball to get to you.
It's Kinsey Hansen. Takes on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1.
There's been a couple first pitch strikes from Ford that Spark they have not liked, but I think the bottom of the zone has been consistent all evening long. We're now here in the 5th. Should expect that one.
And so Ford gets the strike, and the count is 0-2 as Jalen with 72 pitches. Courtney Weish warming up in the bullpen, and for Michaela Transu, you would love to get Ford through the 5th, still make it a 2-0 game, and have Weish take you all the way home. Snap throw towards the shortstop Lair, just to keep an eye on Coleman.
Again, every step matters whenever you have that kind of speed on second. So if I, as a catcher, can prevent her from taking 1 extra step, 2 extra steps, whenever it comes to a throw at the plate, that makes all the difference.
1-2. And the dirt. Good stop by Smith. And the count 2-2. That's something that's not going to show up on the scorebook, but that's a huge stop by Smith, especially if the Rise can get out of this game just trailing 2-0. Well, you don't have to play the infield in. Coleman stays at second base. And here's the 2-2. And Hansen stays alive.
Jalen Ford just missing that one over the heart of the plate. I think she places that tighter, and you could see the frustration. Man, I wish that was a little bit tighter. She gets that swings and miss, but like you said, to your point of her pitch count, you looked back in the 3rd, and she was at 53 pitches. Since then, she has really buckled down, been efficient, not a lot of pitches, and gotten quick outs from her defense.
2-2. Tap back to the circle. Ford checks the runner and then flips it to first, and a nice job by Ford to keep Coleman at second, 2 away.
Ford is very much a pitcher who once the ball leaves her hand, she becomes a fielder. This one, you can see Jada Coleman thinking about it immediately, having to double step, trying to draw that throw, but just a nice job by Ford. Looking at her going, hey, if she takes another step, maybe I'll throw, but until then, I'm going over to first.
Cheryl will walk in a strikeout and 2 chances against Ford. 0 for 1. This inning started with an infield single by Jada Coleman. Back-to-back groundouts, and Ford ahead in the count 0-1, making 0-2. Cheryl with only 3 RBIs on the season, but hitting .440. This is a Spark team that can beat you in many ways, whether scoring in bunches or death by 1,000 cuts and patient at the plate. 0-2, just missed. 1-2.
Cheryl just patient, waiting for that pitch that comes back over the heart of the plate. Until then, she's going to be battling.
Trying to get Cheryl to chase, does not bite. 2-2.
A lot of 2s on the board. OKC, 2 runs, 2 outs, 2-2 count.
22 at second. Now 3-2. Well, Alyssa Brito would be next. She and Haley Lee each have gone deep against Jalen Ford. That's been the only offense tonight. 2-0 OKC. Top of the 5th inning. And the 3-2. Just missed inside, ball 4. And the inning continues.
Talked about her being patient. Been patient on several of those pitches. I mean, those last two were as close could be at the bottom of the zone. And then on the inside half of this one, I think it just misses inside to the lefty. That pitch has been a strike to a righty, but whenever you have those lefties, we saw it a couple of innings ago, that zone gets a little bit tighter.
And so McKenna Smith will go out there to talk to Jalen Ford. Not a good lip reader, but what's the message for Smith here?
Smith, we talked about Hansen knowing her battery. Smith equally as good on the opposite side. Being able to read her pitcher, knowing whenever she's up 0-2 to come back and walk, I'm just going to call time, just reset her. Remind her, hey, we got 2 outs here. This is where we want to go. Remember, she hit a home run, but this is our game plan with this specific hitter. We got her once before. We can do it again.
Well, in that threesome that we just saw from OKC, a couple of home runs and an infield single, they've reached base 4 times combined. Brito a strikeout, and then a home run back in the 4th inning, and now a chance to do additional damage. First pitch from Ford. Misses low, ball 1.
Defense well aware of these runners. You can see outfield back a couple steps, giving her some room. They know Alyssa Brito can hit it hard, not wanting to give up anything in the gap off the wall, off the fence.
Pitch number 92 is a strike from Ford, and the count 1-1. Well, the infield playing back against Brito. The outfield pretty straight up. And the 1-1. And Ford a strike away from getting out of it.
This is a type of crafty pitching that she's known for. This one, a little bit more elevated. It gets into the batter's eye. Alyssa Brito goes, yes, this is the one I want. But she takes 2 or 3 miles off, so she's a little early. She just mishits it. That is where she pushes and she teases a little bit as a pitcher.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Just missed. 2-2.
Talk about another hitter who is disciplined at the plate, is a tough 2-strike hitter. Alyssa Brito right here, consistent. She got fooled back in the first. Ford looking to do it again.
2-2 on the way. 3-2. Well, already 4 walks drawn by OKC. And Brito trying to extend the inning against Ford. Payoff pitch on the way. And that's lifted out to right field. Lucas angling over, makes the catch, and the inning is over. Jalen Ford bends but does not break. And we're through. Going to the bottom of the 5th, 2-0 OKC. College planning is a complex, multi-year journey requiring academic and standardized test success, resume building, and sensible college selection, as well as application savvy. Our college readiness services are designed to help you start early, stay organized, and navigate the critical process with confidence. With college admission and financial advising and ACT, SAT test prep, visit methodlearning.com today. AZ Gloveman is Casa Grande, Arizona's quality leather sporting goods provider. Softball, baseball, batting gloves, and more. AZ Gloveman caters to men's and women's slow-pitch softball markets throughout the United States. Build your dream glove today at azgloveman.com. Baker Air is a veteran and family-owned heating and air conditioning company from Long Island with more than 3 generations of HVAC experience. We value our customers and take great pride in our work. We strive to make Baker Air's goal to remain fair, honest, loyal, and reliable. Our customers are the ones who keep our small business thriving. Request an estimate today at bakerair.com. Bottom of the 5th inning at Hofstra, Maddie Penta gave up a walk to Riley Blampede, but got the ground out against Courtney Day. So the no-hitter still intact, and second time through the order so far. Your thoughts on Maddie Penta?
Maddie Penta goes at these hitters. You mentioned last inning how she has been attacking. Majority of her pitches have been strikes. She's not messing around. Versus on the other side, we see Jalen Ford. She's more of a crafty style. Maddie Penta is go at them, make them swing. I trust my defense. They're going to make the plays, and that's what we've seen from them so far. Penta pounding the zone, and the Spark defense making some really good plays.
Penta undefeated last year, 4-0 with 2.27 ERA. That ERA dipping tonight in her 3rd start of the year. As McKenna Smith fouls off the first pitch, 0-1.
Good pitch there by Penta, that off speed. Smith can't hold up. You could tell that was a big swing. And that's the advantage that you get as a pitcher. Whenever you have those first pitch strikes, you're able to establish a zone. Hitters are more likely to go, okay, I'm going to attack early on in the zone. Maybe it's something that I wouldn't necessarily do otherwise, but I know something's coming. You get a big swing like that, and all of a sudden, you're able to play a little bit more cat and mouse.
0-1 to Smith. 0-2. Penta 63 pitches, 38 of them for strikes to the 13 batters that she's faced. Just one over the minimum. 4 hitless innings. 0-2. And Smith lays off 1-2.
There's where you see that difference. Ford almost at 100. She's right there. And then Penta down in the 60s. That is a significant difference between those two. Your arm feels fresh, but not only that, these hitters have seen a lot less pitches. They're not as familiar. They're not as comfortable, not as many times through the lineup.
Smith rolls it to short. Brito whips it, and Alo stays on the bag for the first out.
Nice pitch there by Penta. You look at that setup. You had the changeup, swing and miss, strike up in the top of the zone. You go out, and then you come back in. That changeup that Smith originally saw. She goes, oh, here it is again. Easy ground out in front again.
And so this is when you want to face Carly Spade with nobody on. And Spade popped up. Should be an easy play for Becker. 2 down.
Second time Spade has had a pretty high fly ball, attacking early in the count. We've seen that from the second half of this lineup. They are going at Penta early on, swinging hard. But with these lefties, these next few batters, she's going to be attacking tight in on the hands. If I'm them, I'm getting on the plate, and anything that feels remotely in, I'm leaving, and I'm looking for that outside. That's a pitch I want to attack as a lefty. That's the best one I'm going to get.
How do you balance wanting to take a strike against Penta, who you know is around the strike zone, but also that might be your best opportunity?
On the outside?
Any of these pitches later in the game?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just knowing what it is that you're attacking, what it is you're going after, right? Penta has shown that she can go up in the zone, she can go down the zone, she can throw an off-speed. So from there, I have to make a decision. I cannot hit all three of those. I'm going to have a better chance of success if I am only hunting that outside pitch, that drop ball, or that off-speed, whatever it may be. I'm willing to give up a strike because I know I have 2 more. And if I'm willing to stick with that plan, I'm looking outside, which we've seen from Penta all pitch long, all this at-bat. I wouldn't be surprised if she goes tight in on the hands. And if that's what you're looking for, if you're Jenna Laird, this is your chance. You're going, yes, this is it.
Comes a 2-1. That is in on the hands, but taken for a strike, and the count is 2-2.
This is where the communication between hitters, watching, charting, and between these games comes into play. Because then you start to see and pick up on sequences.
Tough play. Alo flips, not in time, as Jenna Laird legs it out for the first Rise hit of the night.
Well, It has been these bloops, these flares to the right side. A lot of chaos happening. Twice for Spark, and Jenna Laird says, I want to get in on this action. I mean, this one, just a slow roller. A great play by Aloe, staying low, shoveling. Nice job by Becker being able to range over, but just not in time. Laird, a lot of speed.
Becker made that a lot closer than I originally thought. So good range by Becker at second base. She probably has been the best defensive player for the Spark tonight as Sammy Williams fouls the first pitch back. 0-1.
A lot of action from her over at second base. She's ready. She's warmed up. But if you're Penta, I mean, you have been rolling consistently. Only one walk, no hitter, now no longer in effect, but even that is a win. That is a good pitch, a miss hit right there.
Hansen dropped strike 2, but doesn't matter because the strike is called anyway. No advancement from Laird.
A lot of stolen bases from Rise this year. Not too many opportunities to even have the chance to attempt to steal. Especially with a game this tight, this late in the game. You can tell Kinsey Hansen looking, expecting something coming her way.
Jenna Laird, 6 stolen bases, is the runner at first. Sammy Williams represents the tying run. And Maddie Penta head in the count 1-2 in a 2-0 lead for OKC in the 5th. Little dribbler to third. Sydney Sherrill whips it to first in time to get Williams, and the side is retired. So Maddie Penta works around the infield single, but it's a 2-0 game going to the 6th.
Phoenix Tube is one of the world's leading stainless steel long products, with focus on ornamental and structural tubing, as well as processed flat bar. What began as nothing more than the founder's vision, the company started from very humble beginnings in 1980. 40-plus years later, the company has over 25 production lines, as well as a full line of slitting and finishing capabilities. An everyday commitment to uncompromising quality and superior customer service has enabled them to build a loyal customer base. The growth has been further fueled by continued and heavy investment in state-of-the-art equipment and technology, enabling them to remain at the forefront of the industry. As Phoenix Tube begins its 5th decade, it looks forward to a promising future with the same commitment to the principles that have guided them for these years. Learn more today at phoenixtube.com. With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Cam Wood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out camwoodbats.com today. Beautiful night here at Bill Edwards Stadium. We're somewhere in there. Give a wave, Nicole. There you go. We're in there.
Hello.
Haley Lee's going to lead things off here in the 6th inning. And, of course, we're pleased to be joined by the All-Women Sports Network and carrying the games this season, all the home games for the New York Rise. A great partnership. And there's Haley Lee. And I'd have to imagine some similarities between you and Haley Lee, both growing up in H-Town. She was a huge Houston Astros fan growing up. Now, she said that she wore 45 for Carlos Lee. You were saying you were more of a Craig Biggio fan.
I was. Although I have to say, I hated the outfield until I saw Hunter Pence out in right field. And I was like, you know what? Maybe right field's not so bad. Not so bad.
Not so bad. And, of course, we'd be remiss with Hunter Pence and all of his accomplishments on the field. But you'd have to say one of the integral parts to the reboot to Full House and Fuller House. That's probably his most prominent role. As Haley Lee will lead things off after hitting a solo home run back in the 2nd inning. And takes inside and gets hit on the forearm. And Jalen Ford a little remorseful afterwards. Not intending to hit Lee, but that one's going to sting.
Yeah, that one tight in on the hands. Even if it does skim the knob, that's a tough pitch. And you can see on the replay here, this is tight. And you can see her try to get out of the way, but not able to. This one hits the back arm.
Lee's going to come out of the game, and we'll get a pinch runner. Should be KK Madry.
Seeing KK Madry come in a few times throughout this season as a pinch runner, a couple times on defense. Had an amazing season herself her senior year with Liberty. Advanced to their first ever Super Regional. They had been so close for so many years. What a great feeling, right? To end your college career just setting records.
It's one thing to be at a program, and I'm going to put Oklahoma on the spot, to have great years and continued success, but to be the first group to do something and what they were able to do at Liberty. We just saw Rachel Roop here last week, and an incredible home run as that's hit into the gap, and that's down for a base hit. Gets past Wadle. Blampede throws it towards third. It's cut off by Laird, and Riley Boone digs in with a double.
Riley Boone being able to read her defense. She has really played trickster so far tonight. Had that little flare, an easy ground ball in this one. She knows the shortstop is pinched a little tight. Her defense is pitched a little tight on the infield. I'm going to hit something hard, little just line drive through that infield. But talk about Riley Blampede being able to stop that one deep into the gap, because that saved a run right there.
Michelle Moultrie comes up with the infield drawn in. Moultrie coming on as a defensive replacement back in the fourth inning for Alina Torres. Moultrie hitting .083 on the year. And pops it up, left side, foul territory. Alex Brown navigates and makes the catch for a queen-sized out number one.
This is a big out right there, especially whenever Spark, it looked like they had been getting some momentum. Jalen Ford has to feel a little bit of relief. That was a good pitch to get those hitters, and that's what she's been doing, get those hitters to swing outside of themselves.
And so that brings up Rachel Becker. A walk and a fly out. It's caught stealing back in the second inning. 1-0. Becker 5 RBIs on the season, walked 3 times Sunday afternoon, so she's drawn 4 walks over her last 2 games. 1-0, 2-0. See the outfielders playing in as well, and that's probably about the depth where they could come up throwing, I'd imagine, right?
With this kind of speed, you have to give yourself that wiggle room, that respect with only 1 out. If anything's in the air, knowing that throw, it's just you have to position yourself that if you're running in, you're hard in, you're going to be able to make the throw and get that out.
Got the base open, but you really don't want to walk Becker with Jada Coleman looming on deck. 3-0 pitch. And that's inside, ball 4. And the bases are loaded. 5th walk of the night by Ford.
This is what got her into trouble last time these two teams matched up. It was just a couple of walks, couple of hits, and then all of a sudden you have bases loaded, you have a defensive miscue, and several runs come in to score.
Coleman takes down and in for ball 1. This will be pitch number 108 for Jalen Ford. 1-0, 2-0. So 6 straight out of the zone.
This defense here communicating. You can see Laird talking with Brown, letting her know, all right, I'm pinched in, I'm shifted over a little bit. Anything in the 5-6, that's you, that's your reach.
2-0. Little looper down the left field line. That's a fair ball, base hit. Madry's in to score. Becker had to hold, so she stays at third. The bases are loaded on the RBI single by Jada Coleman. It's 3-0 OKC.
On that one, I want to see Blampede just call it just a little bit, because if you do, you get Madry to be able to tag up at second, and you get Boone to go back over to second base. You could tell she was almost at third, Madry about 10 feet off that bag. If you're able to delay that by 1 or 2 steps as an outfielder, that is huge.
So here's Jocelyn Allo with the bases loaded.
Well, huge for so many different reasons, but also because you would find yourself with 2 outs with Jocelyn Allo up instead of just 1.
And so the 1-0 pitch to Allo, big swing and a miss, 1-1. She's
been held silent after a screaming double her first at bat. the strikeout, the weak ground ball. For Jalen Ford, you're going, a weak ground ball would be really nice right now.
Pitch to Allo. That's high.
This is where you almost have that coin toss of, I can't throw anything over the plate. I'm not willing to give Jocelyn Allo something to tee up, but at the same time, I have nowhere to put her. I have to throw something in. I have to get those swings.
Got Kinsey Hansen on deck as Allo drives it to deep center field. That is out of here. The home run queen goes deep for a grand slam. 7-0 OKC on the road.
Jocelyn Allo doing what Jocelyn Allo does, a grand slam. Would we expect anything less from the home run queen? This is something that she had been building up to. We alluded to, had a great first at bat, second and third, not what she wanted, but with the 2-2 count, this one over the heart of the plate. Jalen Ford not able to get over it, and with a couple of walks, a couple of miscues, she found herself with ducks on a pond, and she was ready to let that one sit.
Went between the two flagpoles. That should count for an extra 3 as well.
It's good.
We're going to step aside. Jalen Ford's day is done. We'll get some other defensive changes as well. 7-0 OKC in the 6th on the All Women's Sports Network. At Just Bats, our business strategy is simple. Get the perfect bat for you on time, every time, exactly as you promised. We not only provide you with the baseball bats and softball bats, but we also provide you with a winning experience and a promise like nobody else. Free shipping both ways, expert customer service, same-day shipping up until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, on time, every time, exactly as promised at Just Bats. College planning is a complex, multi-year journey requiring academic and standardized test success, resume building, and sensible college selection, as well as application savvy. Our college readiness services are designed to help you start early, stay organized, and navigate the critical process with confidence. With college admission and financial advising and ACT, SAT test prep, visit methodlearning.com today. Conveniently located in Rockville Center, Frank's Steaks is a refined but casual, authentic New York steakhouse on Long Island. Since it opened 40 years ago, Frank's Steaks has been committed to serving high-quality prime cuts of beef in a timeless New York atmosphere with a friendly, attentive waitstaff. It's this obsessive dedication to our craft that has led Frank's Steaks to becoming the local destination for special dinners and celebrations. Courtney Weiss comes on in relief, and a new battery for the New York Rise, as that is Sophia Nugent behind the plate as well. Jocelyn Allo dropping the hammer and now turning a 2-0 game into a 7-0 game. A grand slam, her 5th home run of the year, and 3rd home run over her last 2 games.
Familiar tale if you're New York Rise against the Spark. You have a great game, a great battle. It is within reach. And in those late innings, those championship innings, Spark, they're the first ones to make that adjustment. You can tell it's a good move here. I was almost expecting Weiss to come in here in the 6th and 7th to be able to come in as that closer. A lot more velocity. She's going to be throwing 70, 71, especially after a pitcher like Jalen Ford who throws around. This is a really good mix of speed. You can tell Kinsey Hansen herself does not look on time, looks a little late with her triggers.
And that's got to be the big adjustment for Weiss, who is 0-2 on the year, but 1 save. Last pitch Wednesday, got the 9-out save. You're looking at a little thunder and lightning, especially more heat from Weiss as Hansen dunks it down the right field line. Foul. The count stays 2-2.
Weiss right now sticking to that outside. Would love to see something tight in the hands, especially before these hitters have a chance to adjust to her speed. I mean, that kind of velocity, even for an elite hitter, that is hard to make that adjustment when you've had 6 innings of the same speed time and time again, and now you have 10+ miles an hour you have to adjust to.
2-2 on the way. Off-speed pitch misses just high, and the count 3-2. And it's important for Weiss not just to get the final 2 outs, but keep it at a 7-0 game too, because even though we're at the later stages of the ball game, one more run for OKC, and you're down to your final at-bat due to the run rule for the Rise. So I want to keep it 7-0. Here's a 3-2. Check swing. Did she go? No, says the first base umpire, Jason Muller. And Weiss walks the first batter that she faces out of the pen.
24, Sydney Sherrill.
How about OKC? I know they've hit 3 home runs. They've drawn 6 walks as well.
Just disciplined hitters, even with 2 strikes. I mean, look at that barrel control from Kinzie Hansen. Wrists, they do not break, and not able to get it over. It was not an easy pitch to lay off of. Pitch over the heart of the plate, just a little low.
Sherrill drew a couple of walks today, struck out back in the 3rd. And ahead in the count 1-0. 1-1. Just look at how deep the Spark lineup is, but how cerebral they are, and why they're so tough and have only suffered 2 losses this year. Here's the 1-1. Runner goes. Hit and run is on. Back to the circle. Weiss wasn't looking. Williams the turn, not in time, and everybody's safe. Should be a fielder's choice, but Weiss didn't hear that the runner was going, went to second anyway, and everybody's safe.
This one, again, talk about cerebral, knowing your situation, knowing your surroundings. A nice job by Kinzie Hansen. You can also see Sammy Williams initially behind that bag, has to go around and in front to be able to make that catch. That was an underrated snag by her, and to make it a close play over at first, I wasn't expecting that. But like you said, they should have 2 outs. You want to be just getting out of this inning before one more run comes across, because then you're in very dangerous territory. Take a whole inning out of your hands.
Alyssa Brito with a solo home run back in the 4th inning. 1 for 3 on the day. 9th batter of the inning, and Brito fouls it back to the netting.
With her up to plate, you have a couple more swings, a couple more pitches. Like you said, 9th batter of the inning, but only the 3rd batter that they face against that kind of speed. You have a hitter on deck who's taking time. She's realizing, all right, this is my timing. I'm having a whole team in the dugout start to feel that speed as well.
Weiss dropped the ball as it hit her hip, and both runners are going to take the additional base.
Great heads up there by Kinzie Hansen. I mean, she barely even stopped. As soon as she saw it hit the hip of Kelsey Weiss, Kinzie Hansen ran over to 3rd, and Sid Sherrill followed behind over at 2nd. That's the mental cues that Spark. That is why they are so good. They take advantage.
And so now the count 2-2 after the drop. But you're right, they continue to take advantage. They're just so deep. They defend well. You're just looking at a team that is playing in another world right now. 2-2. Oh, goodbye. Home run. Brito's gone deep again. Into the next county. Alyssa Brito, 4th home run of the year, drops the hammer on a 3-run home run. That makes it 10-0 Spark.
Alyssa Brito, we have been waiting for her to unleash since that first one. She does it again. I mean, this one absolutely blasted. And that is why it's so important to get those looks, get those pitches. I mean, this one is shot into the night, halfway up a tree. This pitch was inside elevated, and she knew it. She was waiting on it. Her timing was set up for it. And as soon as it came her way, she was all over it.
So the base is now empty for KK Madry, who came on as a pinch hitter. Pinch runner, excuse me, for Haley Lee, who was hit by a pitch at the start of the inning. Corner's pinching in as Madry takes a strike, and the count 1-1.
Defensively, Rise, they've seen a couple of lefties have that same style. Madry, very similar to Boone, similar to Coleman. You can see them playing her very similarly. You have your left side, Brown and Laird pinched in. Sammy Williams shifted over to the 3-4. And then the outfield squeezed in tight as well.
I think this is a big spot for Madry, too, to kind of get her psyche going. Had a great year at Liberty. And she shoots it into left field, a base hit. You always have something to play for, even in a lopsided game like this one, Nicole. You'd have to imagine for a player like Madry, not used to coming off the bench, wants to produce and become an everyday player, and hits like this can help you.
I mean, talk about producing. This one is elevated. She's able to keep her hands inside. It's over the plate, but sometimes as a slapper, if anything is on that middle half, you want to go with it. You want to turn on it. She does a really good job keeping those hands elevated inside that ball and just shooting it back towards that 5-6. And that's reading your defense as well. We had just talked about how tight in that left side was playing. You hit something hard, if they make a catch, it's only on reaction. It's not because they were able to get there.
As Riley Boone doubled earlier in the inning, now 2 for 2 with a walk. Runner goes, that's hit over to Sammy Williams at second, races to the bag and gets the out. That was a close play at second base, and Williams got there a hair early.
I mean, this one right there, great play, great snag by Sammy Williams. Not only to read that hop, because this one, it had a lot of speed, but a little funky spin to eat it in her gut, but also get that toe over there, get that out over at second. I mean, that was a really close play.
And fortunately for Williams and the Rise, they get the out. Now 2 down. And Michelle Moultrie popped out to the third baseman, Alex Brown, in her first at-bat. 9 in the count, 0-1.
Spark really getting that rally. 8 runs scored. And it's all about timing. It's all about momentum. The game is split up into almost 3 little games. You have your first few innings. That's when you're establishing yourself. Middle innings, those are just grinders. But innings 6 and 7, those are the championship innings. Those are where you have those players who mentally are tough. They're able to go to that next level. That's where they really shine. They go, I love these innings. Let's score 8, and they do.
It's almost as if it's training by fire, as that's lined foul just to the wide of the third base bag. And then a trouble written all over it. Moultrie bidding for an extra base hit.
Yeah, Brown very lucky that one didn't skim off third base. He said it just missed that foul line. White, she's just trying to get out of this inning here. 2 outs here for Rise. Looking to finish, get back in, and get some swings.
2-2, that's high. And the count 3-2. Twelfth batter of the inning is Michelle Moultrie. 3 balls and 2 strikes, the pitch. And that's a high chopper foul, and the at-bat continues.
Just seeing these spark hitters time and time again. 2 strikes, just being tough, not surrendering. As a pitcher, it is extremely frustrating whenever you throw 5 pitches in a row and they all have just been swatted, just foul, just out of reach. They just touched it.
It's a team that barely strikes out. Payoff pitch again, that's high, ball 4.
Great battle there by Moultrie. Rachel Becker just getting this thing going. Continuing where she left off. She has been disciplined at the plate. It's been a tough out, seen a lot of pitches so far this game.
Attacks the first pitch and serves it into center field, a base hit. Boone rounds third. The throw is on line, and Wadle throws out the runner at the plate, And that's how the inning ends. But a grand slam by Jocelyn Allo. Let's take another look at Kayla Wadle throwing out Riley Boone at the plate. And a great job by Wadle.
And Wadle just doing a nice job. Look at that transition, just one step in between. And also Sophia Nugent behind the plate, being able to have that diving tag. That was a really nice job.
Rise need 3 runs to stay alive. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Conveniently located in Rockville Center, Frank's Steaks is a refined but casual, authentic New York steakhouse on Long Island. Since it opened 40 years ago, Frank's Steaks has been committed to serving high-quality prime cuts of beef in a timeless New York atmosphere with a friendly, attentive waitstaff. It's this obsessive dedication to our craft that has led Frank's Steaks to becoming the local destination for special dinners and celebrations. At Just Bats, our business strategy is simple. Get the perfect bat for you on time, every time, exactly as you promised. We not only provide you with the baseball bats and softball bats, but we also provide you with a winning experience and a promise like nobody else. Free shipping both ways, expert customer service, same-day shipping up until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, on time, every time, exactly as promised at Just Bats. Baker Air is a veteran and family-owned heating and air conditioning company from Long Island with more than 3 generations of HVAC experience. We value our customers and take great pride in our work. We strive to make Baker Air's goal to remain fair, honest, loyal, and reliable. Our customers are the ones who keep our small business thriving. Request an estimate today at bakerair.com. New pitcher for the OKC Spark is Kelly Maxwell, the southpaw, making her first appearance in the circle since the TC Colorado Cup, and as good as it gets, Kelly Maxwell in the circle.
Kelly Maxwell, lefty who can really spin it, has a lot of curveball action. She has a backdoor and a regular curve, and then she tails her changeup off of that. Last time she faced against the Rise, had a lot of swings and misses. She's very deceptive with how she tunnels those 3 pitches.
She comes on in relief for Maddie Penta, who was exceptional. 5 shutout innings, just allowed the 1 hit and 1 walk, struck out 4. And you'd have to imagine, Nicole, that with the low pitch count, a big lead, that Amber Flores would like to use Penta later in the series as well, so trying to conserve some pitches. As Kayla Wadle will start off the bottom of the 6th inning and takes inside for ball 1.
Definitely expect to see Penta again later this series. Like you said, the efficiency, the pitches, whenever a pitcher works ahead and they're able to keep it under 80 whenever you're going into the 6th inning, I mean, that's impressive.
Last inning for the Spark, 8 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base.
And 2 really big swings. One from Jocelyn Allo and Alyssa Brito. Brito, her 2nd of the game.
I don't know which one was more impressive because Brito's was definitely higher, but Allo got out. It looked like a golf ball, like she was teeing off. 2-1 to Wadle. And that's on the inside corner for a strike, and the count 2-2.
Like that idea by Wadle. Jocelyn Allo just talking about her, a couple steps behind first base, and Sid Sherrill often pretty aggressive. She was even with the bag as well.
2-2 to Wadle. Just missed inside. Count 3-2.
There's that changeup that tunnels so well. You could see Wadle, her body just backing up, thinking it was going to come a lot harder, a lot higher in, but that off speed just slows it down.
Maxwell hasn't pitched in 2 weeks, and the 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, she got her. Second time that Wadle has gone down via the K. And there's one away in the 6th.
This is exactly what you want to see from your relief pitcher. Coming in, taking care of business right away, going at these hitters.
So we'll get a pinch hitter. It'll be Ashley Treeweiler coming in for Alex Brown, who went 0 for 2.
Treeweiler, she's struggled, had a great season with the Rise last year, but offensively, it's kind of been a rocky start for her throughout this first half.
And that's got to be the adjustment, I'd imagine, at the pro level, being in and out of the lineup. And Treeweiler last year played first base and the outfield, so she was all over the place, up and down the lineup, now in and out of the lineup in year 2. Hitting .291 on the year, a home run and 10 RBIs. Pops it up and goes into the, thought it was going to go in the bleachers, went into the parking lot. Count 1-1.
The dark abyss behind us.
Yes.
That is the biggest challenge. Not only do the athletes themselves have to train on their own. You're going from 4 years of being told where to go, what time to be there. All right, we're getting all these things to you're now on your own. And then also, with that, the level continues to rise as well. So you're having to teach yourself, you're having to train yourself, not only to maintain, but to get better. And I think that has been so impressive to see these athletes continue to get better year after year after year. That first year out, that is the hardest because you have no idea what it's going to be like.
Not everyone has the benefit of playing overseas either. And down goes Treeweiler via the K. 2 strikeouts out of the pen for Kelly Maxwell. And there's 2 down in the 6th. And you're looking at players that have full-time jobs or at least part-time jobs. So you're right, the training is not there. Because back in your playing days, you were probably training, what, half your day, then you had classes and then an additional lift. Like there was such a segmented schedule.
Well, just having somebody to throw with or toss you front toss.
Here's Lauren Lucas, so for 2 on the day, a strikeout and a flyout.
Kelly Maxwell has done a good job just coming in and shutting down this Rise offense, this 9-1. One more out in here, and Rise, they're looking to run rule their first game of this series. Yesterday's game got rained out, so this is our opening matchup.
On the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. So Lucas, these two teams will be back at it again tomorrow, 7 p.m. first pitch. We'll have it for you on the All Women's Sports Network. One on the way. 1-2. And the Rise are down to their final strike. Maddie Penta started it off, was exceptional through 5. And Maxwell looking to throw up a perfect 6th. 1-2 on the way. Got her. Maxwell strikes out Lucas, and the ball game is over. OKC flies up to New York and escapes with a 10-0 victory as Maddie Penta picks up the victory. Kelly Maxwell gets the final 3 outs. And OKC picks up its 11th win of the year. They go deep 3 times. OKC got it done in all facets of the game.
Absolutely. Offensively pitching and can't leave out the defense. A couple of really nice plays and communication by the Spark. They knew what they were getting into. They knew they had to take care of business.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up here from Bill Edwards Stadium. OKC, a 10-0 run rule victory. AZ Gloveman is Casa Grande, Arizona's quality leather sporting goods provider. Softball, baseball, batting gloves, and more. AZ Gloveman caters to men's and women's slow-pitch softball markets throughout the United States. Build your dream glove today at azgloveman.com. Conveniently located in Rockville Center, Frank's Steaks is a refined but casual, authentic New York steakhouse on Long Island. Since it opened 40 years ago, Frank's Steaks has been committed to serving high-quality prime cuts of beef in a timeless New York atmosphere with a friendly, attentive waitstaff. It's this obsessive dedication to our craft that has led Frank's Steaks to becoming the local destination for special dinners and celebrations.
College planning is a complex, multi-year journey requiring academic and standardized test success, resume building, and sensible college selection, as well as application savvy. Our college readiness services are designed to help you start early, stay organized, and navigate the critical process with confidence. With college admission and financial advising and ACT, SAT test prep, visit methodlearning.com today.
Back here at Bill Edwards Stadium, a decisive 10-0 victory for the OKC Spark over the New York Rise. They take the first game of 3 on the All Women's Sports Network. Welcome you into the broadcast booth alongside Nicole Mendez. I'm John Perez, and 2 things really stick out. Alyssa Brito, 2 for 4, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. Maddie Penta, exceptional 5 shutout innings.
Yeah, I mean, whenever somebody goes yard 2 times in one game, that definitely sticks out. Maddie Penta, I mean, the way that she attacked these hitters, her numbers, her pitch count, fantastic. That saves her, not only her team, a couple of innings, but also saves her for games later on this series.
All right, so it doesn't look good for the Rise in a 10-0 loss, but there had to be some positives that you take out of New York in this one.
I loved how they looked up until that 6th inning. And it's been those later innings that has been the kryptonite for Rise. But you look back to that game, it was only a 2-0 game all the way up until then. Jalen Ford, really good job on the mound. Couple too many walks. Free bases will always come around, get you into trouble. But other than that, I thought she did a fantastic job. Couple of really good defensive plays by Sammy Williams over at second base. Offensively, they were struggling to get going. I think if you're Rise going, making the adjustment tonight, tomorrow, and being ready for your 7 p.m. game.
Yeah, OKC, 7 walks in the victory. So it should be a fun one again tomorrow. We'll be back to the drawing board, 7 p.m. first pitch, and we'll have it for you live on the All Women's Sports Network. But that's going to put a bow on it for tonight. Here from Hofstra, OKC wins it 10-0. For my partner, Nicole Mendez, I'm John Perez saying so long from Hofstra. This has been a presentation of Fast Pitch United on the All Women's Sports Network.